we are live backstage at the Dark Star Jubilee 2013. I'm Ramblin' Rob, your host for the greatest story ever told, here with one of the bands that just got done playing. Pigeons playing ping pong. I'll let him introduce himself here.
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Greg from Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, and living in Baltimore with the band and touring around.
Let's go ahead. Greg, you guys come from Baltimore, and how many members of the band aren't here? Just you right now. How many people are in the band altogether?
Well, I'm actually the only important member in the band. There's 3 other guys. We have 2 guitarists, myself included, a bassist and a drummer. There's Ben on bass, Jeremy on guitar, and Dan on drums. He also has like an electronic drum pad for samples and things like that.
Gotcha. Now, I guess we'll just get this question out of the way real quick. How in the heck did you guys come up with the name Pigeons Playing Ping Pong?
That's funny, we never get that question.
Right.
Never. A short way to tell it is that we were just an acoustic duo, Jeremy and I, just playing coffee shops and stuff, and we weren't really a band per se, but I was kind of thinking about names. We were in college together, sitting in psychology class freshman year, and I'm kind of zoning out of my textbook, and I see the phrase Pigeons Playing Ping Pong smack in the middle of the wrong page I was looking at. And later on the year, we learned that a famous psychologist, B.F. Skinner, taught pigeons to play ping pong. Second of all, back and forth. Yeah. So, and you can find that on YouTube, right above all of our videos. It's my life's goal to surpass that video one day. But we have a ways to go. Yeah, they have like 100,000 views. But yeah, it was a psychology experiment, and it was such a lax decision because we weren't really a band. So I was like, dude, this is our band name, and he was like, all right, I'm okay with that.
It's catchy.
It's something. It's definitely memorable or completely forgettable.
So you guys have been playing together for how long?
Well, like I said, we started as a duo, not very serious, just kind of having fun in college.
Right.
About 6.5 years ago, or 6 years ago, I guess. 2006, 6.5 years ago. And then we met the other guys in late 2007, early 2008. Started jamming in garages, started playing a couple shows here and there. So we really started to take it more seriously around 2009 or 2010. So around, 3 to 6 years, however you want to look at it. We've been touring hard for the past 2 years. Since we graduated in 2010, we've been full-time musicians.
Gotcha.
More or less.
So I heard your set today, and I kind of would describe it as kind of a little, techno, funky, kind of a weird kind of mix. How would you describe your sound in your own words?
Well, we do like to be eclectic. However, if I had to boil it down, I would call it high-energy psychedelic funk.
Like that sounds good.
However, of course, we can then, dip into like an island feel or a rock feel, but we're always jamming live and improvising, but generally we'll build from like a chill psychedelic jam and slowly build to a more like unsy, dancey, dance party vibe. Gotcha. So we've been going with high energy psychedelic funk for now, but I mean, 3 years ago it was fun, funky jazz rock. So we'll see what it is 3 years from now.
Great. You never know how these things evolve. Yeah. I mean, look at any band. I mean, really.
Yeah.
They evolve over time.
The Dead was playing blues and folk, right, for the first couple years.
Exactly. So how would you say, you guys probably listen to a lot of music. Who would you say your musical influences and lyrical influences are? As
a band, because we come from many different backgrounds.
I was going to say, everybody's probably different, right?
I mean, we all have really different influences as individuals, but as a band, I could say it's primarily Fish, the Talking Heads, Lotus, the Motet. It's kind of a mesh of jam, like stage presence infused, like kitschy type Talking Head stuff. Electronic jams like Lotus, not too electronic, but unsy. Mm-hmm. And then the Motet, I don't know if you know, is from Colorado. They're like an incredible Afrobeat funk band.
Got to look them up.
They're awesome. The Motet is great. They have probably my favorite bassist besides our bassist. But yeah, those are like the big 4. But then I was in like musical theater as a kid and grew up on like classic rock, whereas our drummer listened to bands like 311 and a lot of hip hop, and our guitarist had that Talking Heads Fish influence, and our bassist has all sorts of influence as well. But
I'd say I was just talking to Mike Hornsby from Rumpke's, kind of the sound guy from Rumpke's, and he said you guys kind of work-ish, sound a little bit like the Works. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think they kind of sound more like more fishish than the Works.
Fishy.
Yeah, fishy.
Fishish. That gets confusing.
So, like I said, I saw you guys set. You guys put on a really good set. You had a lot of people dancing. What do you think of the Jubilee so far?
It's awesome. We got here at 8:30 this morning because we drove 12 hours from the last festival in Massachusetts.
Right.
But first of all, it's really sunny because it was really rainy in Massachusetts. But I mean, I want to avoid being cliche, but the vibe here is fantastic. Everyone is really having a good time and just like taking care of each other. I love coming to venues and like it's Sunday, so it's been the whole weekend, but it's like almost spotless. Everyone's taking care of the land.
Right.
Everyone seems to be in like good health and good spirits, and being responsible and having a great time. So the Jubilee is nothing but a mix of like great family vibes and then that dead family vibe,
right.
Where you can feel comfortable in your own skin. And the energy on the stage today was just awesome. I mean, for day sets, sometimes they're like hit or miss depending on
could be nobody there.
And I think it went really well. I mean, the connection I felt with the crowd today was really strong. I was like getting right in their eyes, and they were beaming at me. So,
well, that kind of segues into the next question I was going to ask you. What do you like best about playing live?
That connection, man.
Yeah,
it's the reflection of energy where, if I put out as much energy as I can and someone in the crowd feels that way and throws it back, together it amplifies, of course, to this a feeling of ecstasy. I mean, it's very intangible, but I can feel it in my gut every time. I mean, I'm in a fortunate enough position to play my own original music, which is great in itself.
Right.
But I also feel that we're spreading so much joy and letting people cut loose. And also, my favorite part about playing music is how we can bring people together. Because I've had friends who met at our shows and are still dating, and I've had my friends bring their kids to our shows. And
you guys kind of like the love boat of music.
It's remarkable. We have like 5 friends in Boston. I knew one from college, I knew one from like shows, and I knew one from high school, and they're all best friends because they knew us when we came to town, and now they hang out all the time. And that's just like the icing on the cake that is already super sweet, So it's the connection with the crowd. It's bringing people together, and I feel so fortunate to be on this side of the stage, because before we were touring, I was going to shows and feeling those feelings from bands,
right.
and that elation I felt just from being there, cutting loose, and meeting great people, like-minded people, and now we get to give back to that community, and it's just like a dream come true.
Oh, excellent. That's a good answer. Good answer, man. So you guys are available on Archive. I went there and looked you guys up. You guys got a lot of shows on Archive. Is there any other place that anybody can listen to your music on the internet?
Archive's definitely the best. That's where we upload the most of our music, especially these days. We got at least like 60 shows on there, and a ton in our back pocket that we're cutting up and releasing. There's also SoundCloud. We'll have stuff on there. I think there's stuff on Bandcamp. Just kind of your generic, if you know where to find music online, you can find it.
Right.
But primarily archive.org is definitely a one-stop shop for a ton of shows.
Oh,
and then of course there's like YouTube, and we have our first album was in 2010. It was called Funk EP, and that's on iTunes, which is great. I mean, I think it's great, especially as a band that jams. Your music evolves so much over 3 years, so that album is great. It has a lot of funk, and it's totally our style, but now we have this new sound that we're playing, so which is awesome. We're actually in the studio right now, hopefully by I can't say when, but we're doing our best to tour relentlessly and make a great studio album. We're hoping to get it out by the end of the year.
I always tell people that I won't hold to a month, but I'll hold you to a year.
Don't even hold
months.
Don't hold me to anything, man. Just forget I said.
A decade, maybe.
Stay tuned for a new Pigeons album. It's gonna come out.
Is it gonna be live music or studio?
No,
stuff,
all studio, and it's a really weird balance to tour as much as we do and get in the studio and be comfortable with it.
Great.
I think next time we're gonna have to take like a full month off and just get it done, take a break from touring, because we tried to take a week off here, a week off there, and a year goes by and we have music from like a year ago on the album, and now
that's not what you want.
Well, it's the jams evolve, so it's an exciting struggle to balance touring, studio, and we're actually self-managed. We have a booking agent now, but we manage ourselves, so we're very, very busy. And it's a full-time, fantastic job.
You guys have any wives or kids or anything?
Not that I know of. But,
good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, that's again, and that's I can't say a small sacrifice. It's a sacrifice that we do at this point. We're young. We're 24, 25 years old.
Right.
But you know, the girlfriends and the friends at home and the comfort of, you know, hanging out and the financial security is something we sacrifice to spread joy throughout the country and travel and see different places and meet new people. So it's totally worth it, but it is a sacrifice. And no, I don't have a wife yet, but probably will at some point.
When you get done touring the U.S.
Oh, I don't know when that's gonna happen, but when I find a really cool like artist who can travel with us and make our posters, yeah, that'll be fun. Or something.
She has to have some sort of
Some
job in the
awesome
band,
graphic
right?
designer, merch manager would be great. She's cool too.
She's also a booking agent on the side.
Yeah.
So there's some place to get your music. You guys have any big plans for 2013? You going to any places that you're getting excited about?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, everywhere I go, I'm excited because we just got back from Colorado for the first time. Being from Baltimore, that was incredibly exciting.
Oh yeah, man.
3 weeks out there on the way, hanging there, and on the way back. It was almost like a vacation, just like snowboarding for 2 days and playing 6 shows in Colorado and then playing on the way back and on the way there. But the rest of the summer, we're just slammed with festivals up and down the East Coast and the Midwest. Really, really excited for all those like Camp Barefoot and Mantra Bash and the Big What, and just the list goes on. I think we're doing like 18 festivals or something like that. And after that, we're probably going to end up close to like 200 shows this year. So it really just never stops, you know, as far as what I'm looking forward to. But this year we're looking to develop the Midwest and the Northeast. We've been hitting that a lot. We'll be in Boston soon again, and New Hampshire and Vermont, and we go down to North Carolina and Maryland and Virginia, West Virginia and Colorado and St. Louis, and just trying to take it one state at a time, one show at a time, one friend at a time. So,
and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you is, you know, we've been going to festivals for years across the Midwest, and all of a sudden we started seeing your name pop up a lot,
and
like
it's
all over the place.
One.
And I'm like, who are these guys? You know, they're kind of like bears without pants. Like, who are these guys? That's a weird name. Man. I gotta check them out.
We used to call, when we booked ourselves the first like 4 years, we used to call venues and say, hey, we're just playing ping pong. We talk to someone, they're like, hold on, let me get you a special events. We're like, no, book it. We're a band. We're not actually vintage.
We're not Man Whacked.
Yeah. PF Skinner is not endorsing this.
That's funny. So we're only got a couple more questions. I know you guys are anxious to enjoy the Dark Star Jubilee, as I have been the last couple of days. It's been really, the weather and the people have been fabulous up here. What would you say your best musical memory is?
Well, that's a very good question. I could boil it down a little bit. I mean, I used to do musical theater, so if I'm thinking about my life, there were a couple shows where, you know, you sing a song, get a big cheer, and that's like, you know, get used to performing and getting comfortable with the stage, which helped me so much. I wasn't planning on being in a band at all, but I've been on stage since I was 5 years old, every year of my life.
It's kind of natural.
But last summer, we played a small fest. It was awesome. We did a late night festival in Pennsylvania called a Bears Picnic. Awesome festival.
Yeah.
We played right after Railroad Earth for 2 hours at midnight. Left the festival, or slept there, woke up, drove to a small festival in Maryland, and played a set. But
Stephen Wolf?
Further.
Oh, Johnny K.
Yeah, Johnny K, one of the founders of Dark Star, was there, and we know him. And he sat in with us and played Help on the Way, Slipknot, into like Sand by Fish, back into Help on the Way, or Slip. We played like 40 minutes with John K. live at festival.
Is that on archive?
It is on YouTube.
YouTube? Okay.
And it is easily one of my favorite memories. I was just like playing, just like, don't give me the stick eye, John. Don't give me the stick eye. Like, please don't notice that I'm even here. This is so incredible. Because I, you know, saw Dark Star, you know, before we were touring so much. So that was just like incredibly surreal. So we came for the late night. We came and jammed with John K. And then that night we headlined in DC. So that was just like a great couple hours. It was like an awesome 24 hours, and jamming with John was just like incredibly surreal, and I felt felt so fortunate. And he is just the most humble, nice guy. So is his wife. She's just incredible. So I gotta say, jamming with John Kay is probably one of my favorite moments.
Well, I have to definitely look that one up on YouTube.
Yeah,
Check it out. I might
it's a
even
good one.
play some of it in the future. You
Hey,
never know, man.
you never know if you have 40 minutes to kill.
I got 3 hours, man.
There you go.
I've got no time limits on my show. I played 37-minute love lines before.
John Kay playing ping pong.
There you go. So we got one more question, and then we'll let you get on your merry way here. What would you say your favorite Grateful Dead song is?
Oh, good question. That's a really good question. I actually do really like Help on the Way Slip. Love Terrapin Station. I probably have to go with that. But I mean, I love the Dead. So I mean, I like Eyes of the World, and I really like With the Music Never Stop. That song has special meaning to me. I remember one day it was just perfect day, and that song was the soundtrack in my head. And
It's a summer day song.
Yeah, it was just there were mosquitoes on the river. But yeah, I mean that's a tough one. I mean, it's like, what's your favorite food?
Right,
You know,
right.
if you're a foodie.
Which I just...
Or what's your favorite beer? I can never figure that out.
I asked
so
the
I'll just
guys
drink all
from,
the IPAs available.
I asked the
That's all
guys
that.
last night from New Orleans Suspects. The last question was, what's your favorite restaurant in New Orleans? Like, you can't just limit us to one,
Yeah,
man. We
that's
gotta
not
have
fair.
3 or 4.
That's not fair. That's not fair. But yeah, I mean, the Dead you can't miss, really.
Right, yeah. I mean, I love them all, so. Well, I'm going to let you go, man. I do appreciate it. I ran a little over, but I do appreciate you stopping by, Greg. Looking forward to a lot of new stuff coming from you guys. Pigeons playing ping pong, man. Thanks.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks, Rob. Thank you so
Good,
much.
man. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.